Hello, everyone. Welcome to another podcast, Rachna, the Mind Architect Diaries. This is a space where we discuss myths and other things around mental health. The reason is to find out those hidden stories and unseen struggles which people do not talk behind their scheduled, well managed routines and their confident smiles. And taking this journey forward, today we have with us Ruchika, who is a software engineer by profession. So, first of all, I want to invite and thank Ruchika for accepting my invite for this podcast. And Ruchika, welcome to the podcast. And thank you for accepting my invite. And
Thank you, Rachna. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And Ruchika is a software engineer by profession with over 16 years of experience, and now she's a founder of Surge International as well. So let's ask from her directly about the Surge International and her passion about it. So Ruchika, over to you. Please tell us about yourself to our audience.
Hi, everyone. So I am Ruchika. I have, as mentioned by Rachna, I have over 16 years of experience in IT industry. And now, apart from my professional background, I'm a founder of Surge International, a podcast host, upcoming author, a mental health advocate. And through Surge International, I enable mid-age professionals who are experiencing emotional turbulence to self-align, self-charge, and self-regulate so that they can surge instead of hitting rock bottom.
Great, great. So once again, welcome to the podcast. So quickly jumping to the questions, Ruchika, my first question to you is, as someone from a tech background, what made you pause and decide to begin your own therapeutic journey?
Actually, I never decided. I never had chosen this path. It's a kind of unfolded for me. I was only aware, it might sound surprising, but I was never aware that I needed any sort of healing or any sort of therapy.
Oh,
I just knew that I was like this. What happened? I have become like this. So for me, during that time, it was mainly about focusing on survival and uh, the dealing with day-to-day tasks because everything became a struggle, starting from your daily chores to official work and to socialization. But deep down, I had a question that what had happened, like why I'm not able to process, why I'm not able to do the same task which I used to do earlier with that ease. So that was there. But then it was when I started working on my niche. Because for every other part of me, I was working on the surface. I didn't know about healing. And when I started working on my niche, at that time I realized that there were deeper parts in me that required deeper, more attention. And so I would say that it's a kind of unfolded. I never made a conscious choice to walk on this path of healing.
right. And we with our life experiences, with our job experiences, this do happen in everyone's life. People broke at some time, and in those process, we actually start finding pieces of ourselves which needs healing. And that's what we call the in spirituality, we call it an awakening. In psychology, we call it alignment of mind, body, and thoughts. And these things have different terminologies in different niches. But actually, the purpose is to find those broken pieces and work on them. And that's the beauty of the subconscious mind, that we can train and retrain it in different ways, in multiple ways, through visualizations, through written activities, through different activities. There's a hell lot of activities. You're already becoming a part of it, so you are aware of it. And I'm glad that you took just this path to help others as well, because once this we have gone through something and we have fixed it, we are actually in a better position to work on it. So taking the questions forward, so my next question to you, Ruchika, is that what are some of the biggest myths people hold about therapy and mental health? Because we know, yes, awareness has increased after pandemic. People are taking steps, but still they are very reluctant. So I have some of the clients who do not share even to their spouse and to their family members that they are going to a therapist. So why this is so? But why
So
these? Yes, please.
I'm glad that you asked this question because people think. therapy is for the people who have experienced some sort of crisis or experiencing some trauma.
Yes.
So, and in fact, I would say therapy is for anybody who wants to grow, transform, and evolve. It's not about people who are broken. No, everybody, if anybody wants to evolve, therapy is for them. The next thing I would say is anybody who is seeking support is considered as weak.
Yes.
And I think that anybody who is seeking support for their mental well-being, it's a step of courage. It's not a weakness that they are seeking support. It's a human, I would say, human experience, experiencing certain sort of these challenges. It's a human experience. But uh, if they are seeking support and they are considered weak, there is a sort of judgment that comes there, which nobody would like to have. So they, even if they are coming up, even if they are seeking support, they might hide from their families or from their friends. Another thing is, I think people think that therapy is a quick fix. Even who are seeking support, they
Yes.
think that, taking mental health and emotional health therapies, it's a quick fix. No, it's not. It requires a conscious amount of conscious efforts, consistency, and also sometimes I would say almost most of the time patience also. Because once a person gets to know that they need healing, they just want, okay, I can take these 5 sessions and I just want to get out of it.
Yes.
It will be a progress, but it won't be a true healing. It requires efforts there. And other thing is, I would say that um, people think that people who are like who have mental health issues, they are flawed. They are fundamentally there is some problem with them.
Yes. Yes.
So
True.
that itself creates a lot of judgment and non-acceptance. So people are not even able to, even if they're experiencing something, but they are not ready to share. Seeking support is entirely different part, but they are not even ready to share because they will be judged, might
Yes.
not be even accepted. So I think, yeah, these I would say the myths that I have experienced during my journey and during like people I am my clients.
Yes, you are very rightly you have pointed out that yes, there are a lot of things when going into the mind when people reach to the therapist that first of all they want quick fix. It's not a quick fix. As even if we go to the doctor, they give us the medicine of 5 days, and we keep patience for 5 days. But when it comes to therapy, people do not have a patience for even for five sessions, and they themselves consider that as weak. They came with that mindset, and also when they do not share because they think in the same way that they will be considered as weak, and the judgmental people are judgmental as well, because you never know when someone will use it in a wrong way. So that is also one of the thing that stops people to share their problems with them. And also it's one of the reason is that the nuclear families where uh, grandparents or maternal grandparents used to support as an emotional cushion is missing out these days. People seek out for friends and they do not have very real close friends. Sometimes they are not comfortable with the parents also, and that's why collectively all these things are raising a concern and the issues are rising day by day, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Emotional vent out like can be done in many ways, and that was
Yes.
one of the way which is missing nowadays, being the nuclear family, definitely.
Yeah. So taking things forwards, okay. My third question to you, Ruchika, is that why do you think so many functioning individuals silently struggle with emotional or mental challenges?
So one thing is, like I think again they will be considered weak because right now they are considered as they are highly professional, they are successful, they are capable, and other people depend on them. So now if they are coming up that they are experiencing such sort of issues, they will be considered as weak. So and so that's why they hide their feelings, and because of which they definitely, when they are not working on they are not prioritizing their mental and emotional well-being, because of this it's going to impact their well-being. Other thing is, because they're focusing on more on achievement and success, it is good to have, but they are in that terms, they are not prioritizing their own needs. They are keeping other people's needs above them, because of which again they are hiding their feelings. And the other point I would say is because they are now successful, being vulnerable, or I don't say vulnerable, but being open and freely or openly sharing that they are experiencing any sort of such issues. They are considered like it might impact their success, it might impact their credibility, because it is, even if they are not feeling okay, even if according to them they think that okay, it's a human experience, everybody, anybody can go through it, even if they want to share it, but because of the societal conditioning,
Yes.
which is stigma around mental health, which might impact not only their, I would say it would impact their entire life. So this is what they think. And that's why I think people generally hide away and don't share things openly.
Yes, very true. Because when it comes to corporate professionals and other from mid to senior level executives, the first and foremost thing is to get the results and get the results done at their end as well as from the team as well. And the entire focus goes there. Sometimes life is also not balanced, sometimes their relationships are also affected, and in this whole struggle, in this whole process, somewhere they feel sad, unhappy with their less achievements as well, because sometimes they are losing out, missing out deadlines, they are losing on targets, and sometimes they are not able to balance their life as well. And these are the hidden struggles. Sometimes people are aware, sometimes they are not. Nowadays, I hope with coaches like you, with mentors like you, we are getting into this space that we are creating awareness, and people are actually honestly accepting, because the transformation and healing starts with acceptance that yes, we are undergoing something, and yes, we want to change this now, and then the real healing and transformation begins. All right, so Ruchika, there's another question, that what are some of the signs in your own life that told you something deeper needed attention? What were those signs?
So it was like, because for me it has been almost a decade. So my journey has several phases. During the beginning, it was not a sign; it was a wake up call,
Oh.
because which it loud signals which my body was giving that it needed attention. Starting from like the chronic pain, um, cognitive issues, because there was a time when the memory, concentration, and focus, it was impacted uh, badly. It was till an extent that from where I have to open that Google Chrome, I was not aware. Like I was doing, the thing was how it impacted me at badly at that time was, it could have, I managed in all other areas, but when it was coming to official work, it
Mm.
was um, like when it was an official work, I was not, I had forgotten. It was hard for me to remember things, recall things. The work that I was doing for so many years, I was not able to recall any of it. And I was not in that state of mind that I could even plan for taking leaves. I was not able to think about it. And nobody around me was aware that I was experiencing such kind of issues, so that anybody
Yes.
would have suggested me. So that was like, I would say that was a very big role that particular thing played, because I had to put in a lot of efforts to even get the smaller tasks done. Because during that time, starting from your daily chores to official work to socializing, everything was quite tough. And when I have to get those things done, which I am not sure how to start with it, it was like I have to put a lot of effort there. Other thing was like processing. Um, I would say that was one phase where, like, because even when chronic pain, along with that mental struggle, it the whole body goes upside down. So that was a wake up call there. And then I would say in that part of that was one phase. Another phase was when processing was I was not able to process, like, even if it would have been earlier me, what you are saying or what you are questioning right now, it might have required several repetitions for the same question to process what is being asked. So that was also there. But I, like, deep down, I was not aware like what is happening, but I knew that something is there which is missing. That was one phase. And and for years I worked on it, but on the surface. It was like, because I was not aware, I was in just survival and just coping to get those small tasks done. It was uh, like, and I was happier because struggle was getting lesser, and I was feeling better day by day, though it took me years. But this was all work on the surface. Now, the other part was when I started with my mentorship and working on my niche. At that time, also, I was not aware. I thought that I am fine now. And because I was comparing myself to the version I have seen in those years. So I was comparing myself with that, and I was like, I'm absolutely fine. There is no problem. But I was still not feeling normal. And I don't know why. And I even didn't knew like what to do with it. So, and it's a kind of beautifully unfolded for me. The niche I went into, um, it's a kind of beautifully unfolded. And that time I realized that, and I that time also I didn't knew that something deeper needs to be worked on. I was just knowing that this is the problem that I am facing. Okay, this is the challenge a person faces, and that's why I might not be feeling normal. So then, and when I was healing one part of it, another part was revealing itself. So
Yeah,
it's it's healing happens in layers, which kind of beautifully unfolded for me without even thinking or making a conscious choice. So I think these were the signs where I felt that, and in my niche, I understood that it's basically the unprocessed that causes either the physical ailments or the mental health things. So those things needs to be processed. So and when I understood this, at that time I got to know that yes, it required my parts of me needed further attention. So
yeah.
yes.
Ruchika, thanks for sharing these deep insights because I think not just the healing part, you have understood your problems very deep. And this is not very easy, very normal. It takes a lot of time, a lot of courage, and a lot of information, a lot of research out there that what we are going through and giving them names to our feelings, giving them names to what we are undergoing, and also identifying and segregating the places, pieces, and events or the people with which all these things are associated or connected. Because only then we can actually work on it piece by piece, bit by bit. And that's a wonderful inside journey you have gone through, and I wish you best of luck for your onward journey as well. So my today's last question to you is, because you have undergone a lot of things and you have healed yourself and you are moving toward this space. So from your perspective, what are a few things people should be more mindful of when it comes maintaining emotional well-being in today's fast-paced world?
From my experience, I have understood one thing very clearly is processing of emotions
Yeah,
along with emotional regulation. And there is a difference between two because people generally confuse like processing and regulation is the same thing. No, it's different. Processing of emotions is when you are dissolving your unprocessed emotions, when you are working on them. And regulating your emotion means it's a real time. Processing is over time. So, in the real time, how you are handling those situations where you are responding instead of reacting. So, that is regulation of emotions. And for emotional well being, both are required. So, that is one. And so, to give you an example here, I think that might make more clear the audience. When we have triggers, so triggers, first thing that is required when a person is triggered is regulation of emotion during that event so that you are not further you are not further having those out I wouldn't say outburst, I would say that how to handle that trigger, what you are going to do when that trigger, when something is triggered. So that is regulation of emotion there. But why that, and then that is the real time. Now, when why that trigger happened at the first place, that is processing of emotions. Like when you will figure out what made you triggered, why, like what things, places, people, why, or whatever you were feeling inside that made you triggered, when you are healing that part of you, that is processing of emotions. So, number one is this. The other thing I would say is setting up clear boundaries, because setting up clear boundaries means that allowing to be very clear what you allow in your life and what you don't. It's giving access to people in terms of your time, energy, and emotions. So, and the other, including, I would also say, prioritizing your own needs. So setting up the clear boundaries and prioritizing your needs, because if you're not setting up, no matter how much emotional regulation you're doing, how much you have processed, it's
Yes,
going to
yes,
impact you.
yes,
So that is the second one. And I would say, the third one, uh, um, it's recovery and rest and recovery. Because if it's not about just the physical rest, it's about the mental and emotional recharge also. Because
yes,
if you
yes.
are not giving that space to your mental or your even emotions, then it's going definitely, after a time you might feel that burnout or fatigue. So I think these, there would be many where, but I would say that I would stick to three, uh, because I think these are the major ones. And if these are done, I think it will greatly enhance their well-being.
Yes, and thanks for sharing these three because it's important to reduce it down to from many and multiple to few things so that it can be easily understood and it can be followed as well. Because if we there's a lot of information out there and people get lost. They have information but they do not take steps, so reducing it to one or two, it really helps. So what you have said is very beautifully, you have concluded it that first of all understanding and working on it, then also the kind of detox we need, not just the physical in terms of sleep but also the digital detox, and also the thoughts detox, not just food detox but the thoughts detox as well, that what we are consuming, because consciously we are watching something but subconsciously also we are undergoing and we are observing and we are taking inputs from each and every scenario, so that's also important and that needs to be cut down on everyday basis. So there are lots of therapies and lots of things, small things which one can do on everyday basis. So thank you, Ruchika, for the coming here and sharing your deep insights, and I'm sure this is going to inspire and help others too who are watching this podcast. So guys, today we have discussed a lot of things around mental health from a person who has her tech background and now moved towards this different space. And she has shared her own journey, and this is going to help us in understanding why this is so and how we can work on it. So, concluding this podcast on the note that take care of, pause, reflect, and think about it. Take care of you behind the roles you are playing. Whether you're happy, you have managed schedules, you have everything in your life. But also, if something is disturbing you, something is triggering, something is you are not happy at in some moments, just reflect upon it. What is it that is disturbing you? And that needs to be that can be resolved after a thorough insights. You can have your own therapist or you can discuss with your friends, anyone around you, and you have the way out. So thank you for watching, and still then, bye bye.